About 2 months ago, I released a book called Guilty of Journalism: The Political Case Against Julian Assange. It was based on reporting that I've done for more than a decade on Assange, Chelsea Manning, and the wider war on whistleblowers. Many times, you will hear representatives from the news media or press freedom organizations say that it does not matter whether you think that the WikiLeaks founder is a journalist. For example, on WordPress Freedom Day, Trevor Tim, the executive director of Freedom of the Press Foundation, who endorsed my book, wrote, "Whether or not Assange fits your, or anyone's, definition of journalist is irrelevant when you are talking about the First Amendment's guarantee of press freedom. It's a right that's afforded to everyone. All that matters in this case is that Assange was engaging in acts of journalism indistinguishable from the acts carried out every day in the New York Times, The Guardian, and elsewhere." Though there may be some merit to this perspective, I respectfully disagree. The United States Justice Department's prosecution depends on the public believing that somehow Assange was not a journalist when he published documents submitted by Chelsea Manning in 2010. Taking a position that Assange is a journalist confronts the very misinformation and disinformation that has helped authorities facilitate his arbitrary detention. That is why I opened the book with the clear statement: Julian Assange is a journalist. The Committee to Protect Journalists has declined to label Assange a journalist, but their own definition of what makes someone a journalist clearly covers Assange. Journalists are, quote, people who cover news or comment on public affairs through any medium, including in print, online, via broadcast media, or photographs and video. Assange was a member of the International Federation of Journalists. He was a member of the Media, Entertainment, and Arts Alliance, a trade union in Australia. Assange commented on public affairs, on CNN, on Al Jazeera English, and on the progressive independent news program Democracy Now! According to James Goodall, who was the general counsel for the New York Times, who argued in 1971 that the newspaper had the right to publish the Pentagon Papers, Assange sought out secret information by setting up a private website for the anonymous transmission of information to him. Journalists asking sources to reveal secrets is the essence of journalism. At least one prominent press freedom organization has recognized Assange is a journalist. Beginning in 2020, Reporters Without Borders included Assange in their annual roundup of journalists detained, killed, or held hostage. On April 27th, 2023, the European Federation of Journalists encouraged their affiliates in Europe to grant Assange honorary membership to their organizations. 19 of them, along with Federazione Nazionale Stampa Italiana, made him an honorary member to bolster global demands to drop the charges against him. The show of solidarity signaled that they do see him as a journalist, and that in fact, it does matter when it comes to pressuring the US government to abandon this case. Guilty of Journalism: The Political Case Against Julian Assange is available now from Censored Press and Seven Stories Press. Go to project-censored.org to purchase your copy of Guilty of Journalism. Discount copies are available to paid subscribers of the Dissenter newsletter over at thedissenter.org.